The colonial languages have become our lingua franca, by which we communicate across ethnic groups and internationally, uh, across the world. If the colonial masters don't speak our language or understand our language, we understand theirs. And so we have an edge over them. That's how it should be seen. The colonial languages have become our intellectual properties that nobody can take away from us. The languages are a plus, not a minus, to travel across countries. Whether you talk of English or French, as popular in Africa, because we have Anglophone countries and Francophone countries. And take even French. French is spoken not only in France, but also in Belgium, in Canada, in Brazil, and some other countries like that. So the extent I can travel in Nigeria with English, I cannot travel that extent with my Yoruba. So, and you know how many languages we have in Nigeria? They are talking of not less than 250. Sometimes it is said to be 400. So even let us say it's just 100. No, is much more than that. But I'm saying let it even say it's, but in all of this, you have English in every part of Nigeria you go, you meet, even in the remotest village, you are likely to find somebody who will interpret for you, because of English. So for me, in my perception of it, the colonial languages are no problem. They are a plus for us, not a minus. That's the important thing. And as I said, they have become our intellectual properties. And also that languages are divine creation, not human creation languages. We must give it that too. In addition to the benefit we have in being our lingua franca and making it possible for us to communicate to a large extent internationally. So we should consider it a blessing, not a curse. Quite on the contrary, the colonial religions. And so sad. Some people are not paying attention to the dangers that the foreign religions constitute among us. They are instead saying they adopt Hausa language instead of French. Which people is that? Niger, that they adopt Hausa rather than, and they withdraw French. You even with your Hausa, you can go in many places, even in northern Nigeria, not to talk of the rest of Nigeria, with Hausa. You see it? So, but with French, while you may not go far in Nigeria with French, count the countries in Africa and outside of Africa where you can go with your French. Within Niger, there will be tribes that don't speak Hausa, but French, So let us not be emotional and sentimental in our judgment of colonialism. Don't let us be sentimental. And what we should attack, we are not attacking. Foreign religions that are brainwashing, indoctrinating and brainwashing us, even against our own ancestors. People through whom God bring us to life, we are brainwashed to be molesting them, to be rubbishing them. Oh my God. They are our God-given ancestors and ancestresses through whom God himself gave us life. And we are brainwashed to be rubbishing them, to be molesting them, to be castigating them, demonizing them, brainwashed, indoctrinated and brainwashed to that extent, to regard Abraham as our father in faith. Thank God I was not born into any Abrahamic religion. So Abraham is not my father in faith. My father in faith are my fathers, adherents of African traditional religion, in my father and mother sides, in my extended families. So I was not born into an Abrahamic religion, yet I learned about God, who is everywhere, sees everything, can do all things. I didn't pick that from any other religion than from my forebears, my parents and relatives, my contemporary adherents of African traditional religion. So the religions that have divided us between and among themselves. So we don't consider ourselves children of God anymore, but whether you are a Christian or you are a Muslim. That is it. So even what matters most, the weightier matters of the law, love of God and neighbor, has become secondary to being Christian or to being Muslim. That is the extent to which we are dehumanized in the name of religion, not in the name of God. Of course, using God as a camouflage to rule us religio-politically and economically, to rule and exploit us religio-politically and economically. That is what our life has become under the colonial, foreign, imported religions. Religions that turn us against our own God-given ancestors, people through whom we got life, as designed by God, rubbished by foreign religionists. Changing our ancestors and ancestresses to foreigners. You never thought it that way. So why are you fighting religion that languages that are God's divine creation? God created languages. Human beings created these historically fabricated religions. African traditional religion is an example of a primal religion, not historical religion. Primal religions are religions that developed since eternity. In this sense, I explain. In Yoruba mythology, the divinities were sent down by God to create and populate the world. So they are our primogenitor ancestors and ancestresses. So it's not historically fabricated. The origin is traced to God himself, who sent down the ancestors and ancestresses to the divinities to populate the earth, and that is our origin. So it's not about anybody claiming prophetic calling like Jesus or Prophet Muhammad or even Abraham. And God said to Abraham, and God called Abraham. Oh my God. God appeared to Abraham. God sent a book to by an angel to Prophet Muhammad. God came down to us through a virgin, was born, killed, he took away our sins, and all this when we know that the world is insane. Look at how many, can you count how many Christians, Muslims have been caught with homicide money ritual? And they are covering them up. That is why their shame is not as exposed as it should be. But if it were adherents of African traditional religion, oh my God. So we don't know the spirit they are invoking, asking them for human parts to sacrifice, but not to drag too far. Stop attacking the languages. The languages are created by God. They are beneficial to us locally and internationally. But these religions indoctrinating and brainwashing us, dividing us and exploiting us in church and mosque, and even pillaging the society. We don't attack what we should attack. We are attacking language, God's creation, that have become huge blessings to us as we communicate among ourselves across ethnic lines and across the world.